Hey everyone, today we have junior Team Innova athlete Nikko and his father Carl. How are you guys doing today?
Awesome.
Awesome. We're so excited to be chatting with you today. We're going to start off quick with a bio blast. So you have 1 minute to give us 5 quick facts about who you are. Are you ready?
Yeah. I've been on Innova since I was 6 years old. I'm a yellow belt in judo and I've won many trophies and medals. I play piano and chess very well, and I hope to be a professional disc golfer and a professional DJ when I get older.
You said you play chess. How long have you been playing chess, Nikko?
About 4 years.
Would you say that you're pretty good?
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty good because my first tournament when I was 6, I beat a 12-year-old and then lost to a 15-year-old who won the entire tournament. So,
Nikko, tell us a little bit about your first memory of playing disc golf.
my first memory of playing disc golf was probably trying to convince my dad when I was 3 that I could play league. He said I had to play 18 holes, so by the time I was 4.5, I was playing 18 holes. I also remember the house full of players' packs and people constantly coming over to see about the tournament, about dates, about players' packs and all that kind of stuff.
Awesome. And Dad, while you were out on the course with Nikko when he was so young, when did you realize that he had such a talent and that he was going to do such amazing things in disc golf?
I think Nico's biggest talent right from the start was his coachability. I'm a teacher and I teach gym class. I do multiple things with kids, but there's few kids that are that coachable, where I could describe changing the angle of the nose of his disc and then he could achieve it within a couple throws. He got incrementally better. And so it's kind of like you don't notice your own kid growing, but more and more heads started turning. And then I think the day that we posted a video on just regular Facebook on my own account, went to bed Friday night, woke up, there's 15,000 views the next morning and a stream of comments. And then, oh, wow, actually, yeah, it does look like he bombs. And then, yeah, that drove him to just throw smoother and further. And that he really does try to throw a smooth power, which is pretty mature.
Tell me the story about Nikko when he first realized he wanted to be a tournament director. I want to hear more about that.
It was actually Nico's first disc golf event that he was playing in as a 5-year-old. It was a non-sanctioned event that we had here in town, the 10th anniversary of our club kind of thing. My partner had gone home at lunch to let the dogs out. She called halfway through the second round and said, "The dog's not doing well, something's wrong. You need to come home." I'm like, "Well, I'm running the event." She's like, "No, it's actually that serious." So I left the event. I left him playing because he didn't want to come with my friends who also then took over running the event. And unfortunately, I had to come home that afternoon and we took the dog to the vet. The dog had to be put down. I had to return to the tournament to tell Nikko at some point, "Hey, our dog's no longer with us." When I returned to the tournament, the award ceremony was already on. And there's Nikko standing on a table, calling out prizes and helping actually yell things out and organize things. The rest is kind of a bit numb. I then remember sitting in the van, looking at the river, telling him, "Hey, buddy, your dog has passed away." He was a bit sad. His first question was, "Can we get another one?" Right after that, his question was, "Dad, I think I want to be a tournament director." And he had totally moved on from the dog and had started dreaming about being a tournament director. So I then said, "Well, you have to first be able to pass this test," which was a challenge. So then we read the book every night for a month before bed, and he passed the test first try, no problem. Then when he was 7 years old, he invited the juniors that he knew to a tournament that he was the tournament director for, and he ran the check-in, and he had a clipboard and gave the speech and called out the cards and helped input the data after. And so then he was like, "Let's do that next year." So the next year, we ran 6 junior events. He was a tournament director for all of it. We kind of wrote a small story about it for PDJ magazine and sent it in. They said, "This is great. We're going to run it." And then it got pulled right before the day it was supposed to run. And then we heard from the PDGA that they were going to change the rule and make 18-year-olds. You had to be 18 years old to be a TD. So that was Nikko's journey as a tournament director. He still does all the stuff. He still sits at the table and does the registration and stuff, but now it can't be listed on the event.
What advice do you have for other junior disc golf athletes that are starting their game?
My advice is to find the right disc, find the right speed, and find the right weight. I suggest a DX a DX Leopard, and an Invader. I think that if you can throw smoothly, you can throw far. So if you learn how to throw smooth, you learn how to throw far.
What do you think is the best part of disc golf?
In my opinion, the best part of disc golf is achieving your goals, playing your best, and meeting the people.
Do you remember what the first discs that you threw were?
I have an AVR that was stamped for the passing of Halley's Comet in 1985. And I have a 100-gram rock that my Uncle Oz gave to me, the head of the ODSA.
And it looks like you guys have a huge collection of discs behind you, and I'm sure elsewhere in your bags and everything. But what is your favorite disc to throw?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'd probably have to say my favorite driver is my Mamba. My favorite mid would probably be my J, and then my putter is my Nate Sexton Firefly.
Nikko, you still have so much of your disc golf future ahead of you. What dreams or big goals do you have when you look ahead, and how do you plan on achieving those goals?
Well, my goals are probably to be the world champion, and how I plan on achieving that is work as hard as you can and just putt every day. And my other goal is to use disc golf to see the world, such as Japan, New Zealand, Europe, Scandinavia, like Finland, Iceland, and Norway.
Do you have any people that inspire you in disc golf?
I would say I inspire myself to do everything because I look at all the pros and just watching even distance drive competitions, I'm like, those people can really throw. I want to be like that. So working my absolute hardest I can is just all I can do. I don't have an exact person. I just want to become the world champion.
That's a great mindset to have. I love it. You just have one goal. I want to be a world champion. Nikko, I hear that you also teach disc golf to other kids. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Certainly. I've taught disc golf at Camp Celtic, sports camp in Tobermoria, my school, and church camp in Campville. Each one was a little bit similar. I really found it really interesting how some of the kids were so keen to learn disc golf. I was really happy that I got to grow the sport and basically teaching people the basics of disc golf, and then seeing some people actually throw really far, felt that I was actually improving disc golf in other areas.
What kind of things or hobbies do you have outside of disc golf? Is there anything else that you're super passionate about also?
Well, I really love soccer. I really love working out. I love mathematics, chess, piano, fishing, camping, and basically I've taken a talent to writing music. I've written a few pages of music myself.
All right, Nikko, we're going to end this chat in the way that we always do with our Fast Five, which is where I'm going to ask you 5 random questions, and you have 15 seconds to give me an answer for each of them. So, how do you feel about that? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. First question, what's your favorite color?
Yellow. Yellow is the closest to gold, and I find gold very interesting.
Awesome. Second question, what is the best day of the week in your opinion?
The best day of the week, in my opinion, would probably be Friday.
To go with that, what's the worst day of the week?
Probably Wednesday, because my school's the most busy. I have French and music and piano, so it gets really busy those days.
That sounds super busy. Question 3, what's your favorite food or snack?
My favorite food would probably be mashed potatoes.
Question 4, what would be the coolest superpower to have?
Probably telekinesis.
Is there any reason why you picked that one?
Because then you don't really have to do anything.
Fair. Last question. If you could go anywhere in the world on a dream vacation, where would you go?
The Caribbean.
You like the beach and the water?
Yeah, I really like how blue the water is.
Awesome. Well, that wraps up our chat. Thank you so much again, Nikko and Carl, for joining us today. We had so much fun getting to know you guys and hearing more about Nikko's drive and you guys in disc golf.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.